Hi everyone, my name is Matheus De Jesus and welcome to the Unlimited Sprint Nation vlog number 9. I got several topics to discuss today on our blog. I'll make it really quick. And I also make sure that I listen to Frankie's suggestion to have a notepad. Alright, here's what we have in store for today. Let me start by saying that our first year anniversary of our group is coming up. So what I want to do is to ask for suggestions on how we can make our group better, what we should do to take our mission to the next level. And if you want, you can always contact me in private or leave suggestions or myself. So we should be able to do so. All right. Here's the second thing I want to talk about right now. We're going to talk about the SoftBank and Sprint issues with this network in regards to Sprint and Clearwire. They lost. They had no chance. They had no prayer. They dropped out of the Sprint race, and they were forced to drop out of the Clearwire race because they will have no money to pay Sprint. Sprint decided to claim and request full payment for the debt, and in case they ever decided to sell all their assets, if this network was able to acquire it, Clearwire would have gone bankrupt, which eventually it would have ended on Sprint's hands one way or another, either by a lawsuit, either by a fire sale, or either by the acquisition of the remaining stock. And they have no choice. Clearwire had no choice, especially when they owe Sprint so much money in investment and loans. It's not even funny. All right, so let me go and talk about the next issue that I have in mind. What should I say have on my agenda? Which was the Samsung event in London last week. Several great devices were showed up from the Galaxy and the Active line. The only thing that was missing was the Windows Phone devices from the Active line, and there was a reason for that, which we're gonna go to it because this is gonna be fun. On Monday, it was announced. Actually, was it Wednesday? Yeah, it was actually Tuesday or Wednesday when Sprint made an announcement before the keynote speech by Steve Ballmer from Microsoft at the Build event on the West Coast, and Sprint announced the HTC 8XT, which is rumored to drop sometime in July, and ready for this? The Samsung Active S Neo, which is pretty much the same device, just a slightly lower processor, a better chipboard set, LTE radios, and of course a CDMA radio. And both devices have micro SD slots that can allow you to have up to 64 gigabytes of storage space. Hopefully, the Microsoft soon enough will come up with a way to move apps to the micro SD cards, because it will be helpful for them on the Windows Phone platform. Also, these are the first two devices which are Qualcomm certified. Forget about the Nokia Lumia 822 and 928. Forget about the Active Odyssey. And forget about the 8X. None of those 4 devices are Qualcomm certified. They will become Qualcomm compliant when the general GDR2 is released, which actually will be Windows Phone 8.1 or whatever it's called, and support and things should start to get better. And hopefully soon enough, all the CDMA carriers will start carrying Windows Phone 8 devices. because Microsoft needs all the support they can. Now, before I continue, let me mention something about Nokia. Nokia needs to get their heads out of their asses in regards in regards to dealing with Qualcomm certified carriers, especially the Qualcomm 3.0 and Qualcomm CDMA 4.0. Nokia needs the CDMA community a whole lot more. The CDMA community needs Nokia. Verizon did them a favor. And actually, the numbers for the Nokia 822 are not that impressive in terms of sales based on the Gartner numbers. They were hoping to actually sell at least twice or three times the actual amount they have sold so far. And most of those devices were given away free because people do not like Nokia devices, especially in the CDMA community. Or should I rephrase that as CDMA members of the CDMA community do not like Nokia as a company, especially after the actions, the custom, to be sued by Qualcomm for copyright infringement and illegal manufacturing of components that were not authorized by them. Let me say something really quick. If that lawsuit by Qualcomm would have proceeded here in the States, Nokia would not be in business at this moment. Nokia would not even be business on the international side because with the patents that Qualcomm have on the CDMA technology, and for those who do not know, a lot of the GSM technology that is used today is CDMA based by Qualcomm. And what can I say? Qualcomm made the right decision to sue them. Sprint made the right decision in reporting them. Verizon did the right thing by reporting them. What I don't get is why Nokia is trying to kiss the rear ends of Verizon. Yeah, of course, they're the largest carrier, but they don't represent the majority of the CDMA community. Most of the CDMA community are dependent on the Sprint network. Whether you are a Sprint customer, Virgin Mobile, Boost, or any of the regional and national virtual mobile networks, they operate on the Sprint network. And also, let's not forget the regional, the other national CDMA carrier, US Cellular. And let's not forget carriers like Intelos, Open Mobile, the Puerto Rico, Cricket, C-Spire, Alexa Wireless, Appalachian Wireless, Premier, and several others, regional carriers, especially those in the worst partners with Sprint decided to go on a different route in recent weeks. Also, what I can say is that Nokia really needs to send a serious, decent apology to the community. And now, let's get to the final thing. And let's talk about Mr. Daniel Rubino showing his bias once again, trying to bury all the Sprint stories because they are hot items on Windows on WPCentral.com. Mr. Rubino, get with the program. You're actually causing yourself a lot more damage on the short and long term by your actions and your opinions and your bias. And the best thing that I could tell you, you need to get a life. And you better start asking so people in the industry why you're not allowed in certain places. Also, you need to ask yourself, is this all worth it? Because honestly, when something happens to you, especially in the little kind of way, you better start praying that you don't get your pants sued up by the new owners coming to Sprint, especially SoftBank, because my Yahoshi-san in company are not very kind to opinions based on fiction. In your case, it's more like science fiction because you're just making up all this stuff that you claim you have all these sources that you always have these events. Come on, Rubino. You don't even have a press pass that is valid outside of New York State. We know that for a fact. You should thank people like Rich Emmons, Sam Sabri, Richard Archibald, Paul Acevedo, and Laura Kretnick, because they're saving you. They're the ones responsible for keeping Windows Phone Central some sort of a site with integrity. But as far as you go, you're still a complete jackass. But that's all I'm going to say, because I'm not going to waste my time. And for those people accusing me of me being my agent, you got a surprise coming. I might consider showing up and letting my agent take a backseat on this, and actually go head to head with Rubino. And I know he has nothing to say because he has been proven wrong time after time for the past several weeks. And he knows that if the FCC releases some documents, his rants against Sprint, his bias against Sprint, will be irrelevant, as most people consider him in the technology industry as a objective reporter, objective my ass. And this is it. I am done with this blog for today. I thank you for your time. And if somebody got something to say to me, you can do it through the page. You can message me. And if somebody makes sure that Rubino gets to see this, he better start. I would be more than glad to talk to him personally if he would like to. But he doesn't have the guts to answer the questions like, how come no other CDMA carrier in the U.S. is carrying Windows phones? How come there is no presence in the prepaid market for Windows Phone on the CDMA side? Is that Sprint fault? No, it's actually Microsoft fault for two reasons. They were not interested in the CDMA market at all, and they were using shitty coding from China Mobile instead of using the required Qualcomm standards as required by the Federal Communications Commission. And as of June 1st, and as of June 1st or July 1st, the new security encryption regulations come into place, and they require full compliance of Qualcomm on the CDMA side. Of course, it's the choice of the network to upgrade if they wanted to upgrade to CDMA 3.0 or 4.0. Sprint is now 4.0. Most of the CDMA carriers in the country will be 3.0, and the ones on the Sprint network will be 4.0 because of the network vision deployment. And if anybody has any suggestions, comments, or ideas, you can go ahead and reach me. I'm always available. Even if I don't get back to you, it's because nobody is working. And I want to take one more thing I want to mention. I want to thank all the moderators in the group, the new members. You guys are doing amazing, and I appreciate that because we finally cleaned up some of the leaks. And I know there's some members that have been quiet, and I know that what they're quiet for a reason. And I appreciate your help as well, because I know you've been talking to me on privately, and I understand and I appreciate your help too. I'm not going to mention names because I want to keep you out of the spot for this moment, but I appreciate you guys. And this is it. This is the end of the blog. And hopefully next time I'll have something more positive to say in order to end my blog, and hopefully it will be the anniversary edition, because we are close to our 1 year anniversary. And thank you for watching. Have a great day. See ya.